Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode for this week of the My Love Golf podcast. If you tuned into episode 1 for this week, which must be episode 191, thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed our review of last weekend's golf. There was a lot to pack in there, as you can probably tell with the amount of chat that went on. We certainly enjoyed discussing all of the golf that was, and in hindsight, this live golf environment that we now consume our professional golf is going to keep contributing towards the chat. So we might have to continue breaking these reviews and previews into two. We'll see how this week pans out for us. It's an interesting week for me. I get ready to go to Scotland, which features in the next two rounds of big tour golf. Obviously, this week we've got the Genesis Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club, one of my favourite courses that I've ever had the privilege of playing at, in one of the favourite parts of Scotland that I've ever had the privilege of being to. We'll talk about that. And then we've got the alternate, I don't know if that's how you call it, the alternate PGA Tour event. Both these events are PGA Tour events that have been played this weekend. The Barbasol. Mike and Rocket are here to join us. We're not in the studio. I'm not in the studio tonight, so I don't have the usual buttons and music. I'll have to put that back in, but there is one little bit of music that we do want to play. And, if you watch the YouTube channel, if you break this into two YouTube episodes, you can see Rocket's background, but, he's got some special music. Rocket was a big fan of these guys back in the day, and we should play it just to bring in the Genesis Scottish Open. No, it's the Genesis, the car brand, Rocket. It's not your favourite band from 1985 high school disco, Rocket. Genesis. It's the Genesis, the car brand, a.k.a. Paul Gow. Gowie in the golf show, sponsored by Drummer Golf, of course. Gowie's always cruising around in a nice Genesis. Well, the Genesis are the sponsor of the Scottish Open this weekend, which isn't really an Open anymore.
It'd be the Genesis Invitational.
Well, you can't. I don't know what you'd call it outside of an Open, but it's not really what I would consider a true Open. Do you discuss?
It's in a jar.
In a jar. Only so many people can sneak in.
Yeah.
Does someone want to explain why? Sorry. Let's start again. How are you, gentlemen? Welcome back.
Oh, thanks, mate. Welcome back to you
for the second time.
Hopefully, the last couple of days have been good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. We seem to all have the same clothes on, but geez, we've got different hats on. Geez, if you watch the YouTube channel, you know what this is all about.
Yeah.
What that means. Are we well?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, great.
Good. I'm looking forward to the Scottish Open, and then I'm looking forward to the Open. I think.
And Mike, you might want to just pop your microphone up a little bit if you can.
Is that better?
Pop your volume up a bit. Speak into the microphone. Yeah.
No.
You've only done 100 episodes now. You think you get it right?
Is that not better?
Just a bit of volume. Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
I don't know what happened between tonight's recording and the other night's recording.
No, nothing.
Does anyone want to explain on my intro there of why the Genesis Scottish Open is not an Open?
Because the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour are, have a little bit of a, they're dating. So then all of a sudden it becomes a co-sanctioned event. So they've moved into a house together. They may be sharing a bit of furniture and figuring out, who's got fridge rights and all that sort of stuff. Are they sleeping in separate beds? Are they sleeping in the same bed? We're not sure. So
I think it's gone past the sleeping in separate rooms and beds. I think, they were that stage, and now they're cohabitating in the same room, and no one else is allowed in.
Well, yeah, that's the main thing.
Who gets to choose the left or the right? Who gets to choose what side of the bed they sleep on?
I think the bigger problem is they've said, I don't like some of your friends, and they're not welcome here anymore.
That's exactly right. They can't come around and play anymore.
No, I don't want to see that bloke on the PlayStation anymore when I come home from work.
I just did read an article on the Bobby Mack a tweet, and I didn't realize this happened. It only sort of come out. So after my mate Sergio played in the first London event, he was hit with the £100,000 fine and basically told not allowed to play in the Scottish. And apparently in the locker room at the German, whatever the German one was a couple of weeks ago, he's blown up like full. He's gone full Sergio, used all sorts of expletives and stuff like that. Like the tour's effed. Everyone can get effed.
I thought he literally said quite loudly into a microphone at his last PGA Tour event, "I can't wait to not play this tour again."
Well, that was the PGA Tour, but the thing is, though, because of the DP Tour,
Yeah,
they got a different set of rules. So the guys that teed it up in London, they got popped with like $100,000 fines, and they've been the next 3 events that are associated with the US. They've been booted out of, and they've lost it, and that was when they like Poulter and that all prompted the, we're going to sue the tour, and Pelly's come out and basically just.
But Sergio knew that was tied to the PGA Tour before then. He should have known he wasn't getting in.
Here's the thing, right? It's like, this is what happens when you have a choice. Choices have consequences, and this is the consequence of your choice. So if you're upset about it, you should have known this was coming. Like they said, we're going to do this. If you do this, this is what we're going to do. So you've done it. So why are you surprised? That's because you're a pretentious twat.
Okay.
Mike Lorenzo Vera on Twitter today has done something similar. He's done a Q&A for anyone who wants to talk about Liv and his thoughts, and given a little bit of locker room talk in there as well. If anyone wants to look it up, it's quite entertaining.
MLB.
He's not backwards in coming forwards. Actually, without doing our once a week pump up for the podcast of the t-shirt that I'm wearing, the No Laying Up guys. The No Laying Up guys did an interview with Mike Lorenzo Vera a while ago, and it is exceptional. Hearing him and how he spent that money, what he did with his winnings and why he was broke is exceptional.
Yeah, they find the good guys.
Well, for those of us that won't go and trawl through the Twitterdom to go and find that, because it'll be 87 finger swipes up by the time you get to it. So most people sort of get bored at the 15th finger swipe up and they can't find it. Do you want to give us a rundown of what Mike Lorenzo, what's his surname? Vera. What his Q&A was all about? He was basically just saying that people were just sort of saying, what do you think about Liv and how does this work? And what, people ask him in French and English, and he can translate tweets, which is amazing. The crux of it was he has no sympathy whatsoever. They asked him whether they should be allowed to play the majors, and he said, I hope not. I think hopefully they make a stand and say you can't. And someone even asked him, if this all goes pear-shaped and the Liv Tour goes away, should they be allowed back? And he said, no, they should have some sort of longer-term suspension, because they've chosen the money over playing competition golf, and that's what we play, and they don't want to do that. So why would we welcome them back? Okay. Well, if you want to go and check that out, go and check it out. I'm sure you can just search for Mike Lorenzo Vera and you can find that. Scottish Open, this Genesis Scottish Open. So the Genesis is the car brand, not Rocket's favourite high school band. Now, how did the Genesis, I can't remember seeing a Genesis dealership in Scotland in my time there previously. They might be very successful there now, but much the same as Infinity, a car brand I used to work for. You probably won't see an Infinity car brand there anymore. Why is it the Genesis now? How did that partnership come about? Because it used to be long-term Aberdeen Investments. Scotland's a very big financial market. A lot of strong banks in the world, all based in Scotland. Must be something to do with how tight Scottish-born Australian. Australian-born Scot, whatever you want to call me. You call me anything. Just don't call me late. Big financial market, Aberdeen, no longer there. Genesis in. Is that brought about by the PGA Tour's influence?
Probably.
Right.
I think Aberdeen was already
on the way out,
passing up on. Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to remember, this would all came about around COVID. So I wouldn't have thought Aberdeen was happy to just throw out some more money.
And the Scottish, they was before the PGA Tour jumped on. They would battle every year to try and get a good field, because it's always the lead into the Open. So there's a lot of players that might not play it. So that's the problem, is that when you're that one tournament that's the lead into a major, sometimes you can be left out by the top ones because they don't like to play the week before.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was left to the power of Jerry Savardi, obviously part of the Savardi family that pioneered the development of the Renaissance development over there at Renaissance Golf Club, would personally fly a lot of the American players over. He would court them. Obviously, I don't know if it's obviously or not, but he would make sure that their pathway into the Scottish Open was very easy. There's obviously a number of accommodation dwellings on the property there, and he would make sure that everyone was well looked after. You've seen Ian Poulter and GMAC up there overlooking maybe the 5th or the 6th tee in the house that they were in. So he'd make sure any Americans that wanted to come across, it was really easy for them and to try and get the best field. I don't know the relationship between Renaissance and the tour and like what was muted with Mount Juliet. They've had to buy their way to get that tournament, the Irish Open at Mount Juliet. And if Renaissance is the same, I'm not sure. It's a great golf course. I've played it, and it really is a proper links, and it's very doke. If you know your Tom Doak course, it's generous off the tee, but very challenging into the greens. And Don Plasek and Angela Moser and Clyde Johnson, all the guys that worked there building it over the years, did a great job. Anyway, I don't know where we were going there. Genesis is the sponsor, and now what's the field? The field look like? It's obviously
good.
Fairly strong.
Field's very good. Yeah. And yeah, look, the crux of it is the PGA Tour has certainly helped them get sponsorship now that they are a co-sanctioned event. The field is great, as you'd expect, because one, it's a co-sanctioned event, and two, it's they're already over there now. So some of them are already getting ready, and a few have taken the last few weeks off, getting ready for the Open. So you got Scheffler, Rahm, Morikawa, Thomas, Cam Smith, Cantlay, Hovland, Burns, Fitzpatrick, Schauffele, Spieth, Zalatoris, Matsuyama, Billy Hose there, Neiman, Max Homer, Sung Jae-im, Tyrrell, Corey Connors, Harris English is back and playing some okay golf. Yeah, there's a lot of big stars there warming up.
That's an Open championship field.
That's
that's
pretty good.
Herbie's there, and of course, Herbie has performed pretty well there over the journey.
And Minwoo
defending. So two players that have been touched by the mile off of golf mojo along the journey. Minwoo just really did back up, around with him back there in 2020. So
this is the anniversary of where the Minwoo was born.
This was the anniversary.
This was the week.
The currency, the unofficial cryptocurrency of the Mile Of Golf podcast. This is where
it all began.
Was it obviously you?
Because
Mike?
then the Morikawa was the week after.
Yeah,
it was good 2 weeks. It was a very good 2 weeks.
So both of you guys that like to outlay a shekel or two, Mike, you were the one that coined the term Minwoo, and
yep.
Everyone still gets to work out how much a Minwoo is worth relative.
I reckon Rocket might have coined it.
Really?
Yeah, no, I reckon Rocket's in charge of the
currency denomination.
Yep.
Well, a Minwoo is whatever you want it to be, but all it means is that
it's more than a Morikawa.
More Minwoo is no.
Oh no, sorry, it's the other way around. Sorry.
It's a little bit less than half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a Minwoo is half. So it's like the pound and the dollar, or the Australian dollar. So the Minwoo is the Australian dollar to the Morikawa is a pound.
Yeah,
it's about half.
In ballpark terms, I think a Scheffler is about half a Minwoo, and a Minwoo is about half a Morikawa.
Mm-hmm. So Morikawa is the gold. So basically, it means
Morikawa's gold standard. Yeah.
Is how much you can put towards acquiring new golf kit for yourself. Whatever your golf kit is, and whatever value that is, the value of it doesn't matter. But it's basically how much you win. If you win more and you get more, well, that's probably in the Morikawa stage. But if you don't get quite enough to get everything that you want, that's probably you probably want a Minwoo. And if you get, if you get enough to upgrade your shoes, get some Pro V1s or whatever ball you choose, maybe a new bag, but you might have to save up a little bit more for the driver. That's probably a Scheffler.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
We'll
put that. We should put it on the website. So just a description of each of them so people can know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Or in the Discord.
Someone actually said, "Do you take Minwoo leads here the other day?" As they came in, I said, "No."
Do they really?
No.
I was going to say, God. Oh, well, I walked in the other day and someone mentioned, because I think I had the hat I'm wearing on, the My Love Golf hat. People know straight away. So as they should in your workplace.
Did you come in?
No, it was the other week.
Oh,
when
yeah,
you were
okay,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is your sister Mimi?
Mia. Yep.
Mia, sorry.
My sister Mia. She
Oh,
came in
yeah.
the other week.
Shout out to Mia, new follower of the Mile of Golf Instagram. You can obviously chuck us a follow at Instagram if you want, because you get access to. Yeah, you can chuck us a follow at the Discord, growing Discord. That's where you can chat with these two great men about anything. Don't expect the answer you want to hear back, but you're welcome to input and have your say. And it's an open and warming and welcoming environment, the My Love of Golf Discord. A new member, we've got a green, Australia's greatest greenkeeping podcast on there now. So if you want any questions answered about grass, Rocket used to be the go-to guy for grass.
I'm not even, if it was graded, I'd be in kindergarten compared to that man.
Well, Stevie has seen all the golf clubs around Australia. He's interviewed all the great superintendents, and he's tended more grass and greens than anyone's put together. So you get access to all that inside the Mile of Golf Discord. Anyway, back to the golf. Hot field.
Very good field, as you'd expect. It's a funny one when you're looking at it, because without knowing the course very, very well and really just looking at pictures and getting an understanding of what it looks like, it's a bit difficult to sort of, outside of just looking at how a player's playing, what sort of stats I want to look at. And for me, when I run the data lake, the tricky piece is I've got to overlay the fact that realistically I'm looking at PGA Tour data, not European Tour or DP World Tour data, because that's just not as easy to get a handle on. So effectively, I looked at a handful of things. And Ross, you tell me, you've been there. So I'm looking at someone who's obviously good at hitting irons into greens. They got to be good from tee to green. So like they've got to really keep it in play. They got to be able to scramble.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to be accurate off the tee, because the rough's going to be a bit gnarly. I want to look at someone that has good proximity to the hole from the rough. So how many greens in reg, and what's their proximity average from out of the rough, and how many of them, and I wanted to limit the amount of bogeys they have. So bogey avoidance stat. So they're the six I'm running with this week.
Yeah, well, if you can execute on those points, you will score well. And it's it's proven that if, like in a lot of links golf, if it's been soft there in the previous few years, there's been a bit of rain, so it's been open to scoring. But I think, like any links course, once the weather comes up, it sharpens up. And if you're looking at the YouTube, you can see my background there. You've got Fidra Island down the back there. This stretch of holes, I think that's like 10, 11, 12 thereabouts down by the water. They're beautiful holes. If the wind's blowing, like anything can happen. But I think like if I have no sort of rundown on how they've got the course set up, but if the rough has been let to tighten up in the mowing lines, and a little bit of that wispy, long, sort of fescue rough that adorns Scottish Links land, well, you want to be in the fairway, because Tom Doak greens, he doesn't make flat round things that you can put a pin anywhere on. There's some hills, humps, and hollows here, and some gnarly runoffs for the unwary, misplaced 7, 8, 9 iron pitching wedge. It's a quality golf course, and I think if you do all of those things that you mentioned there, if you're in the data lake in that part of the field, you're going to be up there at the end.
Well, the weather looks pretty good, which is probably good. Temperatures don't look to change too much for all 4 days. We're looking at the mid-20s, 20 degrees Celsius for the Aussies.
Is that what I'm going to? Mid-20s?
Mid-20s, yeah. You can put some shorts on.
It's going to be better than this mid-11s that we've got down here.
Nothing going at the minute. Rain, very, very, very unlikely, but it is going to be windy. What a shock. 20, 30 kilometres an hour pretty much for the whole tournament, and you would think that means gusts up to 30 or 40. So some solid golf, and that doesn't even ease off in the morning, so that'll be all the way through. The people that came to the top, wow, shock horror. Matt Fitzpatrick came to the top. He comes up as number one. It's funny because the people that come up towards the top are pretty much the guys that come up the top in the majors, which is probably not.
He lost in the playoff here last year.
Yeah, did he, Fitzy? There you go. He did to Minwoo, yeah. And was it Peters?
Thomas Dietrich.
Aaron Rye, when he won the year before, was that a
Yep.
playoff as well?
Yes, I think it was.
Who was who was in that playoff?
Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh, that's right.
I'm only saying that because I have the data in front of me.
Yep.
But yeah, I if I look at the names that have come up the top, I think now you guys might know better. I've got a funny feeling the last 3 years it's been at the Renaissance Club, but before that it was elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I've looked at the people that have played well there. So Fitzpatrick ranks on top. His last 3 Scottish Opens, 14th, 42nd, and 2nd. So he obviously plays well enough here. Mito Pereira comes up, but he's never been to this tournament. Justin Thomas is probably one that I like this week. 2 starts here for an 8th and 9th. And he comes up 3rd. If I go through the other guys, Hideki's there, Corey Connors, Xander, Scotty Scheffler's there, and he was 12th last year. So I'm pretty much going to favour the guys that have been here, and been here and played well.
Does Rambo pop up?
Rambo does pop up, not super high up. He's number 20 on the list. The biggest thing going for him is his scrambling's been very poor this year.
Yeah, his form's been horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, he's finished 7th last year. And the other one, Ross, funnily enough, the other one that I like this week is the bloke you just mentioned, is Aaron Rye. Aaron Rye, won it 2 years ago, 9th at the tournament, not at the course, a couple of years before that. Not playing bad golf, did pretty well last week. He might be someone to look at. But for me, I'll sort of put some names out there here and there, but I think the main ones that I'll be looking at will be probably maybe something a little on Aaron Rye, but I think I'll be sticking somewhere around Justin Thomas, maybe Matt Fitzpatrick for the bets. And for the one done, I'm taking someone completely different. And they are literally ranked 80th in my data lake, but only because of the stats that he has on the PGA Tour. And that's Lucas Herbert. Taking Herbie this week.
You still got Herbie available, do you?
Yep, haven't used Herbie yet. I've got a few still up my sleeve. I've still got I think I've still got Scheffler. I've still got Rahm, but I'm taking Herbie.
Herbie's played well.
Fitzmagic. I'm going to pick mine now.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you someone I can't go with. That's Smotherman. I've already
Austin Smotherman didn't get a start, sadly.
Yeah, really?
I just missed it.
You can get stuffed, Austin Smotherman.
But yeah, sorry, I should do the top 15 because people do now want to hear that for some unknown reason.
Before you run off with top 15, so it's at Renaissance this year. Obviously, the last 3 years it's been at Renaissance Club. The previous winners were Minwoo Lee, Aaron Rye, and Bernd Wiesberger. So he won in a playoff against the other Herbert, Benjamin Herbert from South Bendigo. And then it was at Gullen, another great course just down the road, about 3 courses down the road. Brandon Stone won there. And then it was at Dundonald. I will be playing at Dundonald Links and staying on site at Dundonald Links when I am in Scotland. Rafa Cabrera Bayo won there. Alex Noren at Castle Stewart, Gullen. Ricky Fowler, do you remember Ricky when Ricky won? Do you remember when Ricky won?
2015 or something?
2015. Was that Ricky's last win?
No.
His last win was my best week of
the Phoenix. The Phoenix Open.
That was the
when it was a no cash out, no cash out.
It was
no.
It was a story I've told before. Very long story, but it was the one. It was Tigers tournament. What's that one? The Bahamas
Euro.
Yeah.
Did he win that?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. So first,
one of his.
So for his last real event win, I think was the Phoenix.
Could be, yeah. I might even been after that, but I just remember that was right around the last time he beat Chuck Hoffman. But yeah, do they do a rota for this one too, Ross? Do they stick to the same courses, or does it just move around?
No, it doesn't move around. As I sort of alluded to, I'm not sure, what the tenure is predicated on. If it stays there, like I'm not sure how much Mr. Savati, how much his influence on the Renaissance Club being the host of the Scottish Open. I think there might be some financial, sort of part of that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But previously, Gullen, Dundonald, Castle Stewart, Gullen, Royal Aberdeen, Castle Stewart. So Castle Stewart featured. And then previous, so back 2010, another course that I will be visiting next week. It was at Loch Lomond. It seemed to be at Loch Lomond for a long time. So
Yeah,
the 1996 through to 2010. And then Glen Eagles King's course for many years, a couple of stints at Carnoustie.
Yeah, Mickelson started to play when it was at Glen Eagles, I think.
I think we talked about it the other week. That was the time when I felt like there was a switch from the US players understanding that it's smarter to probably go over and play Irish or Scottish event and then into the Open rather than just wandering in there and assuming
Use of the
you can
conditions,
play.
the grass, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You only have to think about Colin from last year, right? He changed his
That's
wedges
it.
the week before.
Changed his irons, and everything changed.
Yeah.
Well, that stint, Loch Lomond's not a links course, so it's on the Bonnie banks of Loch Lomond, as the name would suggest. But when they went to Castle Stewart, that sort of started to get a little bit more linksy. Royal Aberdeen in 2014, run by Justin Rose, one of the great Scottish links courses. Cullen, all proper links up there. So yeah.
The Hero was 2017, and the Waste was 2019. Not wanting to flex my identity.
No. It doesn't shock me. Everything Ricky did after that I didn't care anymore. He done all he needed to do for me at that point.
He served his purpose.
I think. Yeah, the
Wayne
car
Riley.
out the front of my house is paid for from Ricky Fowler. Oh, it's not all the car, but a fair chunk of it. That tells you how good that day was.
No, the G63.
Yeah, the Rolls Royce parked next to it.
Aussie's got a little, good sort of history here at the Scottish Open. Funnily enough, does anyone want to?
Adam Scott won it in 2001. 2000 shot 62 in the final round.
No, wrong.
No.
Does anyone want to have a guess?
Something's wrong with your computer, Ross. There's no way Rocket's wrong.
Well, not.
I'm joking. I don't actually know whether he's right or wrong.
So obviously Min Woo being the latest, but then we go back to the great Wayne Riley. Oh, that's right. Great, he's a great commentator. People love Wayne. Wayne Riley won in 1995. Peter O'Malley at POM won in 1992, and Paz won in 1991. Beat Mark McNulty. Yeah, there you go.
Well, what was the?
Herbie's due.
And Graham Marsh in 1973 over Peter Oosterhuis. Great English golfer. That's an
And he was commentating too for a long time, wasn't he?
Peter,
on
definitely.
The US tour.
Peter Senior was runner-up in 87, IBF in 1986. So we go. We've got some history here. We've got Robbie Allenby was runner-up, beaten by Lee Westwood in 1998.
It was the Scottish PGA that Adam Scott did that.
Whatever happened to the Scottish PGA? There you go.
2002 shot 63 in the final round. I was a little bit incorrect.
Okay,
not far away. Top 15.
Top 15. Let's run that down for the people who are patiently waiting.
For the people that care.
Yep.
Matt Fitzpatrick, Mito Pereira, Justin Thomas, Hideki Matsuyama, Corey Connors, Xander Schauffele, Scotty Scheffler. Never good when they're back-to-back, those two. Sungjae Im, Will Zalatoris, who I'll tell you now, will be taking some of my money at the Open Championship. Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, Joaquin Neiman, Luke List, Christian Bezadenhout, fresh off a good week last week, and Keegan Bradley. That's it.
Keegan Bradley's playing there.
Keegan is there. Yep. Keegan has not played in the Scottish Open before. Shock.
All right.
Playing okay golf, though. Is he?
If you are listening to this in Scotland and you're listening as you drive towards the Scottish Open, go and have a pint or a burger or whatever it is at Duck's Inn. Go and see Malcolm Duck and tell him I'll be there in about a week and a half for a burger and a sugar-free Coke.
Sounds delightful.
No.
Except I'd have the full strength.
Full strength? Yeah.
Full strength Coke.
Well, you know me, 12 years, no alcohol. That's
there's no Coke. There's no Coke. There's no booze in Coke. It's just lots of sugar.
It's sort of pointless going to Scotland if you're not going to have a wee dram or something like that. But I've managed it so far. Is that enough? Is that us finished on the Genesis? We're moving on to the Barbasol?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a big tournament. I think I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing the course. I'm looking forward to seeing the scenery. I'm looking forward to the different time zone, getting my body ready for next week. And I'm looking forward to seeing, like, I know we talked a lot about in the last episode around live event versus John Deere and how all these people were jumping up and down and how great the live field was and how poor the PGA Tour field was. Like, they were literally comparing apples and oranges. It wasn't relevant. This week, this is a field. This is going to be, hopefully, be nothing short of some exceptional golf. Would be great to see.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll be on a plane when the last round is teeing off. So by the time I get off the plane, it'll obviously be one and done. And I
might bump into a few of them in the airport. Oh no, they won't be. Not flying.
No, they'll be staying.
They'll be staying. Yeah.
Might bump into a few that are coming up for the Open. Might do that. It might be. Matty Griffin. Actually, I do have another episode. We've got a lot of episodes coming up this week. I've got a Matty Griffin episode dropping. So I caught up with Matty just to discuss his preparation for the Open. Obviously, Matty is qualified due to his placing at the Vic Open, and he's over there. So he left today for Edinburgh. He's going to stay in Leith, my sort of parental hometown, and he's going to play a bit of golf in the lead up. I think he might be going down to North Berwick and maybe some other courses, but he's staying in Leith for a bit with his people and then going over to St Andrews. So I've got an episode there, just a short sort of half an hour episode catching up with Matty Griffin. So look out for that one. But there'll be a few other Aussies heading across there. I wonder when the other Mile Love of Golf mojo, Brad Kennedy's got to start. So I wonder when BK is going across. I have to reach out to him. There's a bit of Mile Love of Golf action over getting ready for the Open.
The tentacles are real.
Oh dear. Speaking of,
I'll be disappointed if Morong doesn't message you directly this week.
I'm getting right onto Morong. Did we mention Mike Brown last week?
No, it hadn't been finished yet.
Yeah, okay, that's right. So he was starting. So Mike, great friend of the podcast. This is a sweet and sour moment. Mike went on to win the G4D DP World Tour event last week. I'm not going to say it's his first big win. It's probably up there with one of his bigger wins. I know Mike because he was out here in Australia. We spent a lot of time when he was at the start of the year when he won his two big events out here, which got him a lot of world ranking points, which got him onto the G4D. I know how much he wanted to play well in the G4D events that run parallel with the DP World Tour. Well, he went on and won. And then was saddened by the news that he lost his father that day, the day that he won that tournament. His father passed away. So thoughts, condolences, and, just thoughts are with Mike and his family at this very difficult time. Not sure if we'll get to see Mike when I'm there, but, great man, great golfer, and really sad news to learn of Mike's father's passing, because I know how close they were, because we talked about him at length and their relationship. Really sad. There you go. What I was going to say is, what was I going to say? Mike Brown. Do you want to know what the current run sheet is for golf courses that will be played?
I don't know many of them, but yeah, tell us.
So Loch Lomond, tick. Second round will be North Berwick, tick. And then that weekend, Dundonald Links. Yes, definitely with Josh. Yes, catching up with Josh. Dundonald Links, morning. Western Gales, afternoon. The next day, catch a ferry across to Arran, Shiskin Golf and Tennis Club. That weekend, Dunavity and Macrahanish, and then maybe Mac Dunes on the way past. And then up to Oban. Not sure if we're going to play Glen Crutton, Bobby McIntyre's home course, or maybe just going to have a look. I'm not sure what. I'm going to Oban. I'm going to stay there and have a look around there and do whatever, have the fish and chips, is what everyone keeps telling me. So I'll definitely go to Glen Crutton. Whether I play or not, that's another thing. But that's it's looking like so far. Bit of Craigie Law action. Spent some time down there on the range, playing the par 3 course, playing the the 18-hole course, and there's so much golf. The Scottish Women's Open is being played the week after at Dundonald. The week after, the Scottish Amateur is being played at Western Gales. And then, of course, you've got the Women's British Open at Muirfield in the last week that I'm there. So we'll see if we can get along to that. A lot of golf happening. It's good.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Huge.
So if some weird cat, if you're over there, some weird cat sticks a microphone and says, "Tell us what your love of golf is," it'll be me. There you go. I was going to play. That's what I was going to play. Are we finished talking about the Genesis now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's for you, Genesis Open Rocket. Who didn't dance to Genesis at the high school blue light disco? Probably you, Mike, because you're not old enough. Was Genesis? Yeah.
No, Genesis was like even still a bit before me.
Oh, no, really? Okay. Must be just me then.
See, Phil Collins as a solo artist, that was early 80s.
Yeah,
so that's like 84, 83, 84, 85, peak Phil Collins as a solo artist.
Mm-hmm.
You had Genesis, and then you had a little bit of a resurgence with Genesis back in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be my area.
Okay. What's next, Mike? Barbasol.
Barbasol.
Don't know anything about it.
Quiz for both of you.
What is Barbasol?
And you can't look it up. What is Barbasol? Does anyone know? I know what it is.
Oh,
clothes wash. It's detergent.
No.
They might make that as well. But there's one thing they're famous for.
Soap?
Very close.
Toothpaste?
No.
Shaving cream.
Shaving cream.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Barbasol
right.
shaving cream.
Yeah.
Should be one of those events where the winner, like the Evian, where they pour the water, they should come out with shaving foam and cover the player in it.
I reckon that I'm sure that they'd have a corny ad somewhere. You know, when your hair gets long on your face, turn to Barbasol and you'll be great.
Yeah, for sure. They've probably been around for 100 years and little jingles like that. Absolutely.
You keep going. I'm going to find one.
It's very similar to the John Deere last week. It's a very, very, very lean field. Obviously, everyone that's going to be getting ready to play in the Open Championship is already over there or resting up, getting ready for it, so they're not playing here. The field's a bit lean, like we said. Emmanuelino Grillo.
Again.
Emmanuello.
See, here's an interesting thing: is that this event now is co-sanctioned.
Emiliano Grillo. Kevin Streelman. This is where it starts to get interesting because we've got a very big mix because this is the other co-sanctioned event.
Correct.
So you've got a lot of
all the
Euro
Europeans, Euro guys that have probably been punted from the Scottish.
Yep.
And because the thing is, if you think about it, like, why not come over here? You could win a tour card in the US.
Exactly. Well, the third name on this list, I can't even pronounce it. I don't know them. You guys might know them. The young bloke, 25 from Denmark, Marcus Hellegild. He's there. There you go. Patton Kazai, Adam Svensson, who was my one and done pick last week and didn't go that well. Santiago Tario, Kramer Hickok, Robert Streb, Taylor Moore. It's a very, very, very sketchy field. George Kurtzy, Matthias Schmid's there. But yeah, it's a very, think bottom end European tour, bottom end Euro PGA Tour.
.com's there.
.com?
Bads. Bads.com.
Bads.com made the cut. He made the cut last week.
He won this event before.
I think he's won it twice. He wins all the opposite field events.
Yeah.
He's a freak when it comes to winning events when everyone else isn't playing.
Now, so I didn't stuff my thing up. And he was like second name that came up on my list. I'm going to go Bads. I've already selected him, Bads.com.
Have you picked Bads?
Yeah.
You're a bloody legend. Good on you. Go Bads.
Well,
go Bads.
The tricky part again is the guys that are there from the European tour. I don't have any data for those guys.
No data. Yeah.
There's no data. And there's a lot of guys here from the Corn Ferry Tour that don't have data for. And you got guys like Snake Chalmers is playing, Scott Brown's playing. There's some very
Any mail on the Snake Charmers back?
Snake Chalmers back.
Yeah,
I know Snake Chalmers was having a right old Barney on Twitter this week as well, with a lot of people wanting to get into him about Liv. He made a comment about Liv, and someone said, "Who are you?" he said, "Actually hurts a little bit," and then went.
What do you mean?
The
one person that didn't know, because oh my god, I can't believe they don't know who I am.
Gowie stuck up for him. Gowie said, "Look, they should know who you are."
I like Greg Chalmers' sense of humour.
He's very funny. Omar Uresti, it's a link here. So top 15 here. Again, grain of salt here, because nearly every pick I'm making is not going to be in this top 15. Ryan Armour, Tyler Duncan, Mark Hubbard, Homeless Hubs, Kevin Streelman, Vaughan Taylor, Austin Motherman, John Hurt, Chase Seifert, Adam Svensson, Hayden Buckley, Emiliano Grillo, Bryce Garnett, Grayson Sig, Lee Hodges, Satoshi Kodaira. The guys that I'm picking in my top 5 at the minute that I'm looking at, would you believe one of them is Emiliano Grillo? Then this guy I can't have, but he actually stacks up okay, is William McGirt. And then there's 2 more, the next tier up that I'm looking at. This is how bad the field is. Kelly Craft and Michael Gligic. But the one that I'm going to pick, and who I think a lot of people are going to pick, is Chesson Hadley. And Chesson Hadley is going to be my one and done. Did you pick him as well? No, you picked Bads.
You picked Bads.
But I just thought I'd do the finger snap.
The snap for the birdies. So Chesson doesn't rate that highly in the data lake. It's literally all around his driving accuracy that's pulling him down. But his last 2 starts, John Deere finished 10th. He's finished 5th at the Travellers. That's great form. He's been here 4 times. He's had an 11th, a 39th, and a 27th. That means he knows the course. That for me is good enough to say, if you're in form and you've been here before, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If you can hear those beeps popping up in the coverage there, that's just messaging and chatter happening in the Mile of Golf Discord, which you should join because there's a lot of chatter that goes on in there.
And I know I said this last week, but I still get questions about people not understanding what Discord is. So people, it's literally just like another WhatsApp. So just think of another chat
WhatsApp,
group.
but the kids use.
The kids use it, and us. But it's good because we've got the channel there for My Love of Golf, and we've got little sections where you can literally want to talk. So if you want to talk to Rocket about Rocket's rabbit holes, he posts things in there you can have a look at. If you want to talk PGA Tour, there's a channel for the PGA Tour, DP World Tour. There's stuff for the Greenskeeper. So the Greenskeeper's in there. If you want to ask, the other week I had I got to put this in the group because I had a question about a rule. And I thought, I'll just ask Blakey in the chat and he can answer it for me. But I was on the course. I thought I probably needed a rule. Ruling quicker. I'll ask you 2 now. I hit my second shot into this hole and it ended up in the garden bed, this garden bedded area, trees and stuff in there. And it's all GUR, staked GUR. I couldn't find the ball. But I know it's in there. It went in there. It was all shrubbery.
We 95% certain, and you're playing partners 100%?
100%.
Okay.
It was in there. And I said to myself, I don't know whether this is a lost ball or whether I just still get GUR relief, or I didn't know what to do. And I found the ball. So it worked out okay. But what would the ruling be? It was a bit of lost ball, I'm guessing.
Can't lose a golf ball in GUR. In defined GUR, I don't believe you can lose a golf ball if you're not more than 95% certain and your playing partners are certain that it's in there.
Yeah.
I don't believe you can lose a golf ball in GUR.
I'll ask Blakey. But yeah, that was the one. I was like, I don't know. And it didn't take that long, but it might have taken me a minute and a half to find it. But yeah.
I know that I don't think the rules changed. And I did used to co-host the Golf's Greatest Rules podcast with Blakey, so I answered these ones a bit, I think. But despite that, it would come up at Mornington Golf Club because they've got a big internal GUR, i.e. the greenkeeper shed, and it's all staked white stakes. So if you block cutted one up the 18th at Mornington, you would quite foreseeably end up in that GUR. And the amount of times when people would hit it in the general direction and say, well, that's in the GUR, but you would be there going, are you sure it's in the GUR? Because there was a lot of trees around, and there just has to be one little shadow of doubt that it might not have carried the GUR, might not have stayed in there in the GUR, and you've got to hit a provisional and you play, you're potentially playing 3 if you can't find it.
Yeah.
But so that was always a question in that, it's in the GUR. And I think a lot of people back then didn't know you can't lose a ball in the GUR. I hope I'm bloody right because I'm speaking fairly authoritatively on this.
Well, what was going through my head was it's all a GUR garden bed free relief, right? So I was like, yep, if it's white staked, and this was exactly that. I checked on the card as I was walking down to the ball because I saw it go straight into the trees, and I was hoping I was going to get relief out of the trees. And then I ended up getting relief anyway because I found it anyway. But I thought to myself as I'm looking, this is GUR. What if I don't find it? And then I started thinking about, say a staked off or a white marked off area that's sort of been flooded and it's just water, and something's gone in there and plugged in the ground and embedded, and you can't find it. If someone did that, you'd be absolutely filthy that you'd dropped a shot. So yeah.
You can now take relief of normal course condition, but if there is a ball to find the scenarios led by David Hahn, you have to find. Yeah, that's too long to read. Go to the RNA. Have got a good web, good app there for rules of golf.
I'll just go to Blakey in the Discord.
Yeah, well, go to Blakey.
He's our personal assistant for rules.
And if you want to know how to grow your grass in wet climates like New South Wales and Queensland, go to bloody Stevie in the Discord. He'll tell you.
Exactly.
We'll be releasing a new logo in Scotland, gents. I can see you both repping your Mile of Golf hats on.
Oh, so you're following the Genesis lead, are you?
The Genesis lead.
Yeah, well, they have no footprint in Scotland, and they're advertising over there. So you're going to do a brand launch, while you're in Scotland.
I'm just
very smart move.
Yeah.
Bit of guerrilla marketing.
Not going quite Eric Anders Lang style and hiring out a pub at St Andrews and charging £175 to go and have a beer. In the sounder bar at the back of St Andrews there, but cheap. That's
is that a fancy new golf store?
Yeah, I think it's one of these alternate sort of brand, that make a bit of merch and sell a bit of cool cat stuff. And I think they're going to start doing a bit of the Random Golf Club merch and repping that in England, I think. Because they've struggled with distribution in the UK and shipping, and all of the RGC UK people are always giving out that it's so expensive to ship it across. So, they've never had a solution. So, I think for whatever reason, Eric's become close with those guys, and they're doing a collab at St Andrews, and you can go and have a garden party, or you can go to the night party, and it's £75 or £125 to go in to live DJ set.
Which one are you going to? Both?
No, I won't be going.
Okay.
Nothing against anyone that's going. Go and knock yourself out. I just won't be there at night time or anything like that. But the Cookie Jar Golf Podcasts are doing some live sets, so good luck to them. What we will be doing live is playing this.
Barbasol. Barbasol has as thick and rich a lather as any other leading foam, but Barbasol can cost half as much as the higher-priced foam. Consider also Barbasol Glide Stick Deodorant. It has a fresh, clean scent like any deodorant should. But Barbasol can cost as much.
Every player at the Barbasol this weekend gets a pamper pack of Barbasol face cream and shaving foam. There you go. That's
bargain. Wouldn't turn up.
That's one of the greatest Barbasol ad ever produced. That's got 11 million views at YouTube.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
There is one other event on this week.
Yep. We've got a women's LPGA event.
No. We've got the JP McManus Pro-Am, which will be over by the time people listen to this. But we did talk about it. I don't know if we talked about it in the last episode or not, but yeah, the field's ridiculous. Absolutely.
Greatest amount of helicopters ever assembled in one paddock in Europe.
I just can't believe Tiger Woods is playing.
Why?
Because if I'm Tiger Woods and I'm skipping the US Open and every other event, then the first thing that he's going to do and last thing he's going to do before he goes and plays in the Open Championship is a Pro-Am. Just find it. That tells you how big a scale the Pro-Am is.
Tells you how big a scale JP McManus is. Ireland's wealthiest person, as I mentioned, maybe as we touched on it last time, you drive past Adair Manor, and if you don't know what it is, like I remember driving past it, and I was ignorant to where Adair Manor was, but you drive past it and you think, what is that? And then you just keep driving and driving and driving, and it's just fence and fence and fence, and then you see Adair Manor up in the thing, you go, oh, and you see this glimpse of a golf course, and it's monumental, emphasis on the mental, and so he's obviously a big deal. I think he's still owner of Celtic, Scotland's biggest football club, and obviously massive in Ireland. So, probably that's what you do. Well, hang out with, it's networking for Tiger. I'm sure he probably needs a few more European networking correspondents.
He's looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
Cat doesn't need to look. They come looking for him.
Yeah.
He hasn't teed off yet, but he can't be far away because they're all a lot of men on course. Mark O'Meara's playing. Mark O'Meara's not having. Well, maybe I'm not going to back Fitzy. Fitzy's 5 over through 17, 16.
Strike him out of the Ryder Cup.
He's done. He can't win. Mark O'Meara 7 over. But up the pointy end, Justin Rose 2
So
under.
Mark O'Meara will be playing because Tiger.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few. Justin Rose, Brandon Stone 2 under. Jason Kokrak and Paul Dunn and Sam Burns are 1 under. And then you got some also runs. But yeah, I'm very
Kokrak didn't go to live, did he? And he hasn't.
No, he hasn't yet.
No.
They keep saying that they haven't met his number.
He's such a knob.
Boy, I haven't met my number.
I haven't met his number.
I guess that's,
he talks as if he's like freaking Bryson and should be getting like retire next week money. It's Jason freaking Kokrak.
Is he being for real?
I can only imagine the only reason why he wouldn't have gone yet is because he may have been concerned about not playing the Open Championship, and maybe he just plays the next one. And from then, he's best mates with Trump, isn't he?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
when you go to the extent of hiring your own sort of marquee area for your own fans at an event that you're defending, like you're fully yourself. So the rumor of, they haven't met his number, and so apparently the Saudi logo stuff has been disappearing on his bag and stuff like that. I don't think it's there. I think I'm not 100%. I could be wrong, but Jason, they're probably looking at him going, dude, you're not going to get any more than what Taylor Gooch is getting, and that's probably
100%. He'd be right around that number for sure. Actually, you just made me think of something. With the Aussie Open coming back, we probably should think of something where we could do something with people, like an event.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should think of that.
Corporate box. You want to get a corporate box and sell some tickets? Like be on the 18th and have a party hole?
No, make it simple. Could be simple. Could be
£125 a ticket.
A qualifier for Pete Caridi Week.
Yeah. People can come to that anyway, but no, maybe anyone who's in Melbourne or close enough to that want to catch up, and people might be coming to Melbourne to watch because it's here, isn't it? It's Kingston Heath.
Yeah.
This year? Yeah. Rocket will be down, I'm sure. At least one of the days. Maybe we all go and watch a bit of golf on one day, and then maybe day 2, or maybe people are down and we organise to go and have 9 holes in one twilight evening.
Go play Sandy or something.
Yeah, play 9 holes at Sandy, and then
disco here. We could have a disco here down at in the basement disco down behind, and get a DJ in. A couple of
we could do it. We could do it a big swing and have the golf on in the background. Have a hit of some golf. Rocket can show us how to hit some bombs.
If you would be into that and you're listening, if you'd be into that, let us know. We can put a mile of golf on. Ooh. Exciting. Things are happening.
I don't even know when it is. I think November. Is it November? Have to be November.
It's like first week of it's either the last week of November or first week of December.
Yeah. People come down Thursday night, something like that. Live podcast. You can see it now.
Oh,
I can see golf balls being thrown at us while we're talking.
That's right. I'd invite everyone to Peninsula Kingswood, but no one will want to come because it's too far away. Anyway.
Wow. It is.
No, we just do Sandy and then a pod. You could do Sandy and then a pod afterwards.
Big swing's easy. Just do it a big swing. Doesn't matter. Yeah. A couple of Diet Cokes, a couple of Peronis, and stand around, and we can play St. Andrews.
Speaking of St. Andrews, I haven't had much luck with the video. Mike and I made a great video, 3-camera shoot. The marketing was there. I think we we all overestimated my ability to turn 3 cameras into a decent vision, Mike. I think our efforts with 1 camera
is it better?
Should be the process from now on, because
that's all right.
There's something in it.
Not live, but you know what I mean.
I did the same for Matt Griffin. I've got a guy working on a Matt Griffin video, and he came to me as a proficient video editor, and my 2-camera shoot with Matt Griffin playing St. Andrews as part of the content that we're making for that. I put a bit too much pressure on him. So imagine how much is pressure on myself. Anyway, there'll be something out of it.
No, look, it's easy. I always do those. They're easy to do. But I think, get people down, have a catch up. You could play 3 holes, best score, give away some prizes. I'll get some cheese.
Back to St. Andrews. What is the time in Scotland right now?
I'm going to say midnight.
What's the heating off? It's going to be like same time.
Midday.
Midday.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
We might have to.
I'm going to go off the top of my head. So, I did that at 4, 7.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
Afternoon.
But it is 10 o'clock here. So, but we could do an Instagram live. We could do from the center, like the practice day next week. We could do a bit of that, and maybe you could record maybe we could record the audio from an Instagram live and have some people tuning in. And not sure if 3 people can get on Instagram live or not. Anyway, we'll work that out. Okay. Very good. Do you want to hear the Barbasol ad again? No. Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
We went through the top 15 for Barbasol?
Yep.
We did. Yep. Okay, good.
Ready to go.
Anything else?
No. That's it.
All right.
No.
Well, good effort. 2 podcasts in a week. Takes a lot of time, commitment, and dedication from you two, and I do appreciate you. Oh, one more thing from Mike. Yes?
People.
Yes, people.
Don't forget to put your tips in for both tournaments.
Yes.
You have to pick a winner for Barbasol, and you have to pick a winner for the Genesis Scottish Open.
Yeah,
learn from my mistakes.
You wouldn't want to be the numpty who forgets, would you, Rocket? There you go.
The numpty that forgets 3 times in the year.
And you wouldn't want to be the numpty that picks Smotherman and ends up 27th.
I'm having $1 on Smotherman this week. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I'll put
Same as Marong last week. We should have learned our lesson.
Adrian Baronk, you're a bloody ping player. You smashed that ping. G425 driver. Very good. Okay, gents. Thank you. And as we've always said, join the My Love of Golf Revolution on YouTube and the Discord channel, and you can catch up with and touch base with us wherever you want and whenever you want, pretty much. Thanks for joining, and see you next week.